And while we're live with Mohammed Al-Qasem from the heart of the Middle East, let's also now bring in live from the United Nations our Tal Heinrich, who is there outside the United Nations, and Nina Larsen, who's down in Washington. Nina, to the last point that Mohammed was making, the idea that Bashar Al-Assad will likely stay, that's U.S. policy, it's not regime change. What does that suggest to the diplomatic community, though, about the immediate and perhaps even longer-term future of Syria?
Well, I would say, David, until this weekend, until that horrifying attack, the talk was really that Assad had essentially won the war on the ground. He had taken so much more rebel territory back, and it was really going to be a question of he's won the war, who's going to win the peace? And that's where Russia, Iran and Turkey entered last week, holding a summit in Istanbul, essentially to try and stamp their influence on the future of Syria. But I think the equation has changed now. Yes, last week Donald Trump was saying that he wanted to pull out US troops from Syria. There is quite a limited presence there anyway, only about 2,000 ground forces. And obviously over the last 7 or 8 years, the US has been extremely reluctant to enter this particular conflict for many, many reasons, some of which Mohammed has detailed for us. But I think the equation has changed. I think that this is such a horrifying attack. And I think the other element to this is we've seen how Russia has very definitely picked a side. And Russia fast becoming some kind of pariah state, certainly at the United Nations, vetoing again and again and again, clearly standing by the Assad regime while they consistently commit war crime after war crime.
And
we've also
Tal Heinrich,
had an uncharacteristic...
Oh, sorry. Nina, go ahead and finish your thought there. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we don't normally see world leaders at this level talking to each other by phone repeatedly in a sequence of days. We've had Macron speaking to Theresa May and speaking to Trump, and several times over the past few days. So it really does suggest to me that the allies are serious, that this will be a strong and coordinated attack, and we'll just have to wait and see what they target.